Hello, friends, and welcome to another Modern League. We're returning to Yawgmoth Combo, one of my favorite decks in the modern format. I've returned to it many times. We're trying something a little bit new today. People have been talking up the Prosperous Innkeeper. At first, I didn't really see the value in this card. We already had a very similar card that cost 1 mana fewer and did basically the same thing. It didn't create a treasure, which is what this does, but also, and here's one of the key aspects of it, it didn't evolve into Yawgmoth. Prosperous Innkeeper can. So you can put down a Prosperous Innkeeper turn 2, and then on turn 3 you can cast a Yawgmoth, or you can Eldritch Evolution the Innkeeper for it. So that is one of the big advantages of the Innkeeper. We're going to be running 2. I'm not sure that that's the right number, but I want to have the opportunity to test the card a little bit more. You could absolutely use that slot for another Mana Dork, or another Wall of Roots, or a Spellskite or something. But I want to see how this Innkeeper performs in the list, so we're going to run an extra one. Otherwise, there aren't too many changes between this list and the list I run last time. There is an extra Grist in the main, and I took out some of the ancillary cards, like Spellskite. Alright, well, let's get into the queue and find our first opponent. 2-land hand. It's not very good, though. I don't like this hand. It's so awkward with the Dryad Arbor. If this land was basically anything else, I would have kept it. Yeah, we can keep this one. The question is, what do we get rid of? We're going to keep the 2 lands. I think we'll get rid of one of the Geists. We play Forest, Hierarch, then we play Urborg, Messenger, or we could play Innkeeper, Geist by using the treasure right away. I think this hand is fine. Get rid of a Geist. Opponent is keeping 7. Let's see if we can keep Hierarch for a turn. We can. Okay, so we know what we're playing against. Is that going to change our play at all? We could, like, get in with a Geist. Just seems like a fairly inefficient use of mana. I guess it's fine with the Innkeeper. Attack for 3. Now, realistically, what we're going to be looking to do is to find the combo, and we're not going to have a huge amount of time to do it. Opponent's going to have something like a Walking Ballista fairly soon, which is going to be able to shoot down our stuff. But we do find Evolution. Oh, man. What are we going to do with this? We can evolve the Geist, go get Yawgmoth, do some stuff. Maybe we get really lucky and find a way to draw a Young Wolf. Let's see here. Go get Yawgmoth. We'll make a green mana. That's kind of awkward if I want to, like, attack here. We're actually playing this league to answer that question, says Ben. So you'll have to wait until the end of the league before you can really get some thoughts on it. Just deciding if I want to attack with the Geist at this moment, because we can get the extra trigger, the Exalted trigger from the Hierarch. I don't think they're going to block this. So we get the damage in. Nice. Make a green mana just in case we can find the wolf. Reset the Geist. Oh, we get Chord of Calling? That's pretty close. Is that what we need? I think we might be there. Let's see here. We've already played a land. So let's Chord of Calling. X is 1. Go get Young Wolf. Okay, so now we can draw as many cards as we want. Target, sack. Target, sack. Target, sack. Target, sack. Target, sack. Target, sack. Okay, we've got a bunch of cards here. We're going to have to discard a few, that's fine. We'll discard a couple lands. Don't really care about the Thopter. We have the opportunity to kill it whenever we wish. We'll pass the turn. Get rid of Blooming Marsh and a swamp. Just getting your message there. Yes, I'm playing 2 Innkeepers for testing purposes. I'm not sure how many you're going to want in this deck. I was thinking that 2 would actually be on the side of a lot. I'm thinking probably the right number is closer to 1, but I have the extra 1 so that we have more opportunity to draw it and see how well it does. In this first game, it did okay. I think that it probably would have been pretty much the same, though, with Essence Warden. We would have paid 1 fewer mana for the 1/1, and we would have been able to still play the Geist, so in this case, Innkeeper was exactly the same as Essence Warden. Now I get another Young Wolf. Let's see here. I kind of like playing Verdant Catacombs. I have a mana from it regardless, and we can go get a Dryad Arbor with it if we need to. So I'm just going to go ahead and play that. I'm going to try and get this Geralf's Messenger down. Okay, that worked. Save targets. Always yield. Okay, let's just try and start the combo, I guess. Target, sack. Opponent's not doing anything yet. Maybe they're just starting to realize what kind of trouble they're in. We're off of mana for that, which would allow us to kill a little bit faster. Target this, sacrifice this. Target the Geist, sacrifice the Messenger. Target the Messenger, sacrifice the Geist. Okay, and opponent scoops him up. So you can see here we do have quite a bit less time on our clock compared to the opponent. The combo is click intensive. Fortunately, the opponent did concede a little bit early, so that saves some time off our clock. Let's see here. We're going to bring in pair of Force of Vigor for sure. Fatal Push seems okay. Void Mirror seems okay. I'm not sure about the Void Mirror. They have a lot of colored sources, actually. It would probably actually be a 2-mana do-nothing artifact, I think. We got the Rec Sage in the main. So we got to take out 4 cards. I kind of like keeping the mana ramp in this matchup. We're going to want to go a little bit faster. Hapatra is pretty good in this matchup, being able to wipe up tokens and whatnot off the board. Basically another Undying creature. So it seems like it's going to be difficult to make these cuts. I think we'll take out a Geist. Might go down to 1 Grist here. I don't think we're really looking to grind with Grist. It might be useful as a tool for removal, but I think we really need to be focusing on our combo. Two more cuts, that's really difficult. Sure. Turn 1 Hierarch, hopefully turn 2 Geist and Wolf, and then turn 3 evolve into Yawgmoth. If we're really lucky, we'll even have a Fatal Push up that turn. Okay, our opponent is mulliganing heavily here. They might be looking for some sort of sideboard hate. There are some pretty potent options. And I don't remember our opponent showing us Lurrus previously, so they could have, like, Grafdigger's Cage. If they have, Walking Ballista, we're in a lot of trouble here. If we go with the Hierarch. Maybe we go with Young Wolf first. And then next turn, we could go, like, Fatal Push Hierarch. So that we don't get blown out by, Walking Ballista for 2. Oh, damn, it's a Torpor Orb. Okay. So we could ramp here if we choose not to attack. Okay, so they really, like, mulliganed hard for that Torpor Orb. We just draw Yawgmoth off the top. Okay. So creatures entering the battlefield don't cause abilities to trigger, but if we can find, what is it, the Cutthroat, we should be able to win, I think. Now we'll attack with one of the wolves. Attacking with one wolf is... hold on a second. They've got this thing here, so they're going to be able to make a... I guess it's only a 2/2 artifact. This is attacking for 2. We could even shrink the construct if we so desired. Okay, so they're not going to try and block. They'll just take the damage. It's only 2 damage. They're at 20, so they don't need to react to what we're doing yet, I guess. I guess we could have drawn cards looking for a land here. There's the forest we could have played. Kill their construct before they make another one, making it... well, it would have been harder to kill the other construct if it was a 3/3, right? So there's the Grafdigger's Cage, which turns off our combo. But we could turn the Hierarch into a Grist. I guess we could just, like, Fatal Push this construct and start attacking, right? They don't exactly have a lot of resources. Cage would stop evolution for Grist. You're absolutely right. Thank you. Turns these 2 cards into dead cards. That's why Grafdigger's Cage is such a powerful card versus Yawgmoth Combo. It totally cancels Eldritch Evolution, Chord of Calling, as well as Undying. An incredibly strong card against us. Fortunately, one that we do not see very often because Lurrus is so attractive. Many players would, like rather play Soul Guide Lantern or Relic of Regenitus or Neil Spellbomb in order to be able to play Lurrus as well. I think this one is keepable. We go turn 1 Young Wolf, turn 2 Geist, turn 3 evolve the Geist into Yawgmoth. We can play the Peatland. I'd like to keep the Verdant Catacombs in my hand as long as possible. Because it searches for Dryad Arbor, I don't want to use it if I don't have to. It does mean we'll be potentially losing life with the Peatland, though, and that sucks. Like, I could just go get basic Forest, and our mana is perfect because of the Twilight Mire. And we'll lose 1 life instead of losing 2 or 3. I think I'm going to go for the basic Forest here. Yeah, but we need green mana right now. Turn 1. So my choice was fetch for Forest or play the Peatland. Forest gets us a basic in play right away and means that we're losing less life in the long run. If I knew exactly what the opponent was playing, I might have made a different decision, but it looks like they're playing, is it what? I guess it's like Dragon Rage Channeler. Because if they're playing Lurrus, they can't be playing Murktide. Hey there, Luca. So let's see here. We get 2 mana, we play Wall of Roots, and then we don't have enough for Geist. I kind of want to play the Geist here, even though it means we're going to have less mana on turn 3. We're really well set up if they don't hold up Counterspell. And if they block here, that's fine. I love killing a Dragon Rage Channeler for half my creature. Okay, Blackcleave Cliffs means they're not going to have a counterspell up. Oh, Ragavan. Yeah, I wasn't thinking. Obviously, I should have kept something back. Young Wolf eats Ragavan for breakfast. Oh, Dryad Arbor's out of the deck. But we can go get Yawgmoth here. Kill their board. There you are, Yawgmoth. Might as well attack first. I'll attack in with Young Wolf anyways. I'm just going to sacrifice it to reset the Strangleroot Geist anyways, so if it gets in for damage, that's a good thing. Actually cancel that. I don't want to reset the Geist pre-combat, so I guess I'll just use it to kill a Dragon Rage Channeler. I think the attack with the Young Wolf was actually incorrect. Alright, we're going to get in for 1 fewer points of damage because of it. Target, sack. Grist, nice. Okay, there's pro-humans. We can kill one of the channelers easy. The other one is going to cost one of our combo pieces. It's probably fine. We got a fairly good hand here. I just like to get rid of both of these. Yeah, I think I could have done that much better. Sequenced that way better. We are still in a fairly good position, though. Well, we might as well sacrifice the Geist to draw a card if we're going to lose it anyways. Sure. Nice, they're tapped out. Get a messenger. Okay, so Hierarch is basically free when it comes to Chord of Calling. Wall of Roots is sort of plus mana. We could go, let's see here. Play the Cradle, Forest, play the Wall of Roots. We have 1, 2, 3 mana left. Play the Messenger. No, that doesn't quite work out. Just trying to figure out if there's a way we can win this turn. 1, 2, 3, Messenger. But this thing comes into play tap, so it's no good for Chord. We could just try and play a longer game here. We're in a really good position. Our hand is full of cards. I mean, Grist seems pretty good. Had a lot of different options that turn. Difficult to really know what's the right option in the moment like that, but we had such a huge amount of advantage over the opponent, it kind of felt like it'd be difficult to make the wrong choice. In any event, let's see what we can do for the next game here. We're going to want Fatal Push. I'm also going to want to change the display here. I like Pile View for sideboarding. So the Fatal Push is good. Veil of Summer seems okay. They are playing... So they're playing Grixis, Lurrus. Endurance is okay in this matchup as well. Eliminating their graveyard for Lurrus, shrinking their Dragon Rage Channelers. What about Obstinate Baloth? Do you think they're going to be playing discard effects? Like, Kroxa? Well, I think that there's definitely some... There's a couple points where Prosperous Innkeeper is better than Warden, and I think that it's probably going to come down to personal taste. Warden costing a single mana is nice to be able to play it for that one forest as you're comboing out. Prosperous Innkeeper gives you a mana later, so you can play Innkeeper turn 2 and have 3 mana for your Yawgmoth. 4 mana for your Yawgmoth turn 3, but most importantly, Innkeeper evolves into Yawgmoth, which Warden does not. Yeah, exactly. That's the biggest plus. So yeah, we got a minute left and a bunch of cards to take out. We're gonna take. Speaking of, we're gonna take out 3 Eldritch Evolution. We're gonna take out the Hierarchs, and I think that's gonna be it. Not sure about the Rex Sage. I don't know that we're gonna have any cause for Rex Sage in this matchup. We could maybe bring in a 3rd Grist. Nope. Yes. Those are easy decisions. Okay, now for a slightly more difficult one, how we're going to sort the hand. We're going to need to keep Veil of Summer and Young Wolf and Hapatra. So obviously we're getting rid of one of our lands. Kind of like getting rid of Urborg. Urborg helps the opponent. We still get to keep 3 lands this way. We got Khalni Garden for a creature that we can throw under the bus. I think I'm going to want to play Young Wolf immediately in case they try and dash Ragavan. Next turn, I'll probably play Garden, hold up Veil, if I get the opportunity. Another Dragon Rage Channeler, okay. Come at me, I'm here. Chord of Calling, nice. Definitely want to play the Khalni Garden this turn then. Be able to look for Yawgmoth in no time. Oh no! Engineered explosives on 0. That'll kill my plant token. Oh no. It also gets Artifact in the graveyard, which could be important for the Dragon Rage Channelers, along with their Surveil going on. So they have land, instant, and Artifact. So Engineered Explosives isn't going to get them anywhere, really. He just gets rid of a plant, so what? Although if they attack here, getting rid of a creature would actually put the other one up to a 3/3. Oh, nice, Yawgmoth. We'll play Verdant Catacomb. So we could Chord of Calling for a 2. Or we could Chord of Calling for a 1, hold a Veil of Summer, go get Young Wolf. And then next turn play Yawgmoth. Hey there, Tony. Could also play Hapatra. Which would make the Chord of Calling better later. If the unfair deck is incredibly fast, we might lose. Living End is an interesting matchup, though, because you can sacrifice your board, leaving only the Yawgmoth left. So you get everything besides Yawgmoth right back onto the board again. Oh no, my plant. Oh, and they have Unholy Heat. That's a red spell, so Veil of Summer's not going to do anything. And that's why we should not have played Hapatra, because it's a 1-for-1. I think we'll probably try and get Dryad Arbor with the Verdant Catacombs. So this is sorcery, instant, artifact. Yeah, so these are going to be 3/3s. Damn. It's so risky to get Dryad Arbor here. If they have removal spell, we get super punished. I don't think I can go for it. One, two, Strangleroot Geist. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wish we had Essence Warden. Okay, that resolved. I like to see it. Oh no, they're killing Yawgmoth! Ah, there's not much we can do about that. Tony, if you're aware of a streamer, Boss MTG, or Tom the Boss Ross, his Discord has become the place where Yawgmoth people congregate. Oh, they're keeping a card on top. I think we are boned in this one. Oh. Oh, well that changes everything. Don't forget to sack the Endurance before the Evoke trigger, get rid of their other creature. The Unholy Heat only does 2 damage to Yawgmoth now. Ah, oh, wow. So smart. Drown in the Lock. Nothing we can do about that one. Okay, I'm thinking like Wall of Roots, Young Wolf, we can hold up Veil of Summer, and then next turn we'll have another Yawgmoth. If they don't have counter magic. Maybe even if they do because of Veil of Summer. Alright, so let's see here. If I pay for Young Wolf with this, I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is not enough. So we'll just go ahead and use this green here. Keep all the power and toughness on the Wall of Roots. They want to kill one of my Young Wolf? Sure. Thanks, Kelso. I was down in the dumps for a second there. I thought the opponent really had us until we drew that Endurance, and then everything changed. Sure. They get Drown in the Lock, and then we get Veil of Summer. I think this will be GG when we put the Veil of Summer on the stack, I think. No, they just have 6th. Okay, that's fine. Go ahead and kill this. Actually, attack with this. Kill this. Get a land, nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, whatever, we're pretty solid here. I probably won't go for the Chord of Calling. They got all their mana untapped again. We've got a very nice board here. We've got another Yawgmoth. Maybe I should go for the Chord here in response to this, especially since we have the Yawgmoth in hand. Dryad Arbor. X is 2, go get Strangleroot Geist, and opponent concedes. At this point, we have the combo on the board with them having 2 mana and 1 card in hand. If they have no interaction for this, we're able to draw a few cards. Not too many because we only have 8 life, but we can, probably safely draw 3 cards. And we'll be able to continue to go from there next turn with the Yawgmoth in hand and hopefully be able to finish the game off. But yeah, it doesn't matter. Opponent concedes here, so easy, easy. 2-0-2-0. Don't like this hand. It doesn't do anything. It gets a lot of mana really fast, but we would be reliant on the top of our deck, and our deck can be a lot of air sometimes. Ugh, I don't like this one either. This is better. Okay, let's think about how we can keep this hand. I'm going to want my mana and probably Yawgmoth, so we'll just get rid of Eldritch Evolution and maybe the Overgrown Tomb. We can go Blooming Marsh, Hierarch, and then hopefully play the Garden, Wall of Roots into Yawgmoth. It's bad if they have removal for Ignoble Hierarch. What are they playing here? Lurrus. Everyone's playing Lurrus. Could be Hammer Time. Let's hope it's Hammer Time. We'll play Khalni Garden. Hope they don't have much removal. Of course, if it is Hammer Time, they might kill us before we get the Yawgmoth down. Yawgmoth is super, super good versus Hammer Time, but if they play Sigarda's Aid here, we are super scared. Okay, it's just Esper Sentinel. Phew. They had me really scared for a second. It is still scary, though, don't get me wrong. They could still do some really broken things in the next couple turns. We got to get to turn 3 to get that Yawgmoth down before we can feel in any way safe, but Ornithopter is also one of the trickier creatures having 2 toughness instead of just 1. If we can, you know, like, kill their creatures with a single Yawgmoth trigger, that feels pretty good. Yeah, no blocks. I can actually just hit 6 here. I don't have any plays. No need to use my clock during the opponent's turn. And our clock can be something that... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is bad. How much mana do they have? Sigarda's Aid. Activate Inkmoth Nexus. So if they have another land in hand, we could be dead. It's unlikely, though. They need a pretty much perfect hand. So I think I'm still fine with going Garden, Wall of Roots. We could go Eldritch Evolution, evolve the Hierarch, go get something, but then they draw another card for it anyways. Let's just try and set up for next turn, and hopefully still be kicking around. So we got 3 creatures to feed the Yawgmoth. That's the land. That's the Sigarda's Aid. We're dead. They had exactly what they needed. Not that we could have done too much. That's Hammer Time, folks. We have a really good matchup, but it doesn't matter if they got a hand like this. This hand was too fast for us to deal with. But the thing is, our matchup actually gets better post-board. Alright, so first off, I want this to be in pile view for this part. Fatal Push over here. What else are we going to want? Force of Vigor. I think that's really it. We could bring in Endurance, but I don't know that we want to go that far. We really want to focus on our combo. Getting Yawgmoth out early as possible is super important, but Force of Vigor and Fatal Push are just primo cards. Probably going to present with this. The question is, do I want to bring in one of Endurance? It's good in a couple situations. Because opponents playing Lurrus, it can take away some of their grinding value, and it also has reach, so we could have, for example, held up 3 mana if we had Endurance on the last turn there, and been able to slam Endurance, block the Inkmoth Nexus, and then on the next turn we could have played the Yawgmoth and not been dead to a Inkmoth Nexus. I don't know that it's good enough to take out any of my other cards, though. Maybe I could take out a land for it? See if we can find any of those Force of Vigors. No Force of Vigor, but we did find Fatal Push. We have a really good setup of mana here. We can get Yawgmoth on the board on turn 3. On the play, we keep this for sure. We can even keep up Fatal Push basically throughout the entire time. Not turn 1, it's not necessary turn 1, but turn 2 onward, I think we can just hold it up. Okay, we'll hit 6, pass through the rest of our turn, pass through the opponent's turn. I don't expect in this matchup that the clock is going to matter much, but Hammer Time can be very grindy. And I think that we're not giving away any information to be auto-passing through this turn and the opponent's turn. We're obviously tapped out. We would not want to play Force of Vigor this early. I guess I could hit the 0 button. It doesn't make much of a difference. We could go to end step, and then it kind of looks like we might have Force. Oh my god, they might have a turn 2 hand. Well, fortunately we have the Fatal Push. Alright, so we'll play the Swamp and play Wall of Roots. And then pass the turn back. Next turn, we have Evolution, Wall of Roots into Yawgmoth. And we also have Fatal Push, kill their Ornithopter if they try and put a pair of hammers on it. They're over here with like the turn 2 kill. Ridiculous. Who knows? Maybe they don't have Hammer in hand. Maybe they only have Hammer Spear. And they still do need another land as well in order to make the combo work next turn. So they have 3 cards in hand. They're going up to 4 on their turn. In order to have the turn 2 kill, they would need to have almost perfect. There's 1 single spare card. But the cards themselves don't necessarily need to be like all perfect. For example, they could have another Ornithopter instead of a land here. So they could activate the Springleaf Drum. This is still pretty scary. They go get Stoneforge Mystic, they go get Hammer, and then they try to equip the Hammer to the Ornithopter. I mean, they're going to actually succeed in doing that. I'm going to allow the Hammer to equip, and then we're going to push the Ornithopter. Because, you know, it's holding a hammer, so it can't fly. So the push is fine. It's a flavor win. Cool. Oh, what a draw! Is that the best draw in our deck or what? Okay, we'll go get Yawgmoth here. Alright, go ahead, opponent. I guess we could attack for one. Honestly, I would just rather have Ignoble Hierarch back. I'm not trying to win through combat. I'm trying to win through Yawgmoth. We do also have Dryad Arbor here with Verdant Catacombs if we get a chance to fetch. I guess we could Force of Vigor right now. Just get rid of Sigarda's Aid and Urza Saga. I mean, we would have to wait till their upkeep. I think it's probably better to just wait until we're threatened. We can use the Force of Vigor to kill anything that's going to kill us. Although I kind of like do killing their Urza Saga before they can get any constructs. If they have equipment, we should be able to kill their one creature. We have two creatures to kill their Stoneforge. Nice. Sure. Sure. No problems here. They're tapped out, so we go get Dryad Arbor here, end of turn. We have two creatures, and we'll draw a card, see what we get. We're going to start killing their stuff. Not a good draw, not a good draw. That's better. Getting better. Can we go get Hapatra? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Easily, we can get Hapatra. Green, green, Chord. Tap this and this. Go for 2. Hapatra. GG, opponent. Let's go to the next one. Oh, looks like it's frozen there because of a concession. Yep. I don't think we're going to want to change anything. We are on the draw, which makes us a little bit slower, but I think the endurance is still fine. Um, the Innkeepers have been about the same as Essence Warden so far, honestly. I haven't had them too many times. This hand is so mediocre. We basically only have Fatal Push. Fatal Push is good, but not great. Let's mulligan this, try and get something better. Single land, we have Hierarch, Rex Sage, Fatal Push. I'm keeping this one. What do we get rid of? Maybe actually the Yawgmoth, just because we only have the one land, but if we draw land, Yawgmoth is looking sweet. I guess we'll have to try and evolve for Yawgmoth later. Oh, okay. So the Giver of Ruins means the Fatal Push has to target the Giver. Damn. Was really hoping for land, obviously. How many times did we mulligan here? Should I have mulliganed again? I only mulliganed to 6? Maybe I should have mulliganed again. One land. I mean, we had the Hierarch. We were on the draw. Okay. That's not a great start for them either. Not enjoying this. I think we're going to have to go for the Evoke Endurance Chord of Calling for Dryad Arbor, just so we can get the land. It feels so bad, though. We get, like, no value. Oh, that's the first time I've done that. Swamp. Give me land. Alright, so we have the Rex Sage and we have the Eldritch Evolution. With Rex Sage, we could get rid of the Shadow Spear. We cannot get Yawgmoth with Evolution. We could get, like, Wall of Roots. That doesn't seem that hot. We'd just be trading a mana creature for a mana creature. We wouldn't really be positive at all in that case. Yeah, I think so too. Rex Sage, kill Shadow Spear. Try and keep them off Metalcraft. And then we can turn a Rex Sage into Yawgmoth next turn. Go ahead. Damn. That is a Pure Steel Paladin. If they had one more mana, we would be dead right now. As is, this is going to be difficult to deal with. Need a black source off the top. I believe currently all of our lands would come into play untapped, so any black source, please. Just not a an Innkeeper. They can attack with everything else. They might as well get the extra damage in. Okay, black source, black source, black source. Come on. Nice. Yawgmoth, here we go. So what do we do here? I think we kill the Pure Steel Paladin. That's bad if they have another Paladin. We could... we could kill the Nexus if they try to put the hammer on it, and then just otherwise take the hit. Taking the hit seems pretty poor. I think we have to kill the Paladin and hope. And hey, we get to draw 2 cards, so... if we wait till they equip... I'm just trying to think here about this. So, we let them untap. They put the Colossus Hammer on Stoneforge Mystic and attack with that. We just have to take the damage. And then it's very difficult to do anything. We could kill the Ornithopter. No, that seems silly. Killing the Pure Steel Paladin's better than that. I think we just have to kill the Pure Steel Paladin now and hope. Or draw Force of Vigor. So we get to draw 2 cards. Maybe one of them's Force. It sucks we're cutting down on our mana again, but... I think this is how we continue to play the game. We've been in a tough situation this whole game. But the opponent hasn't had an easy time of it either. Despite our mana woes, we've still managed to interact with them. Pithing Needle for Yawgmoth. We've already used the Rex Sage, so the only answer we have to that now is Force of Vigor. Yeah, they can still attack for 1 every turn. Steel Shaper's Gifts. Go get another hammer. Probably keep that hammer in hand. No, they're just going to play it. That's a surprise. Peatland. Okay. So we could play Hierarch, Strangleroot Geist. We just really got to find a way to get rid of that Pithing Needle. Grist isn't going to do it. Surprised they aren't getting Lurrus. Lurrus gets them their Pure Steel Paladin back. Messenger's a thing. Don't think we have any way to get cards back from the graveyard. So that artifact is there to stay. Maybe we can get Grist. Maybe go for like an ultimate win eventually. Endurance. Our endurance is already gone. We only had the one. The other one is still in the board. Yeah, you tried. I guess we could draw a card with Peatland. The other thing I'm thinking of is getting Grist. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 creatures in the graveyard currently. Oh man, this sucks. Yeah, we just need Force. One, two, three, four, five. So we can go get a 2-drop with Chord of Calling. Or we can play Geralf's Messenger. Another Yawgmoth Nexus. Let's hope they activate the wrong one by mistake. I mean, yes and no. Evolution can change a Geist into another messenger. It doesn't. It can go get a Grist. Grist is okay. Hey there, Keep. Young Wolf evolves into Grist nicely. Yeah, I'm doing all right. How you doing? Glad to hear it. Yeah, Ignoble was actually a pretty large upgrade for this deck. One, two, three, four, five. Go get a 2-drop with Chord right now. I just wish it was Abzan colors, if I were being honest. Like, that would just knock it over the top for me. But I guess it wouldn't make sense to be a goblin in that case. I know if opponent had played Lurrus at any point, we would not be still in this game. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Finally. Okay, GG, game over. Okay, that's it. Opponent concedes. We found the Force of Vigor. Opponent forgot about their Lurrus and gave us too much time. We were in turn 9 there, and honestly, as soon as that Pure Steel Paladin went to the graveyard and they found the Pithing Needle, they should have used that time the Pithing Needle gave them to put Lurrus in hand, play Lurrus while it was protected from the Yawgmoth, and get that Pure Steel Paladin back as soon as they had 4 white mana plus 1. Play Lurrus, play Pure Steel Paladin, and then they can start moving the equipment around again while Yawgmoth is locked down, which also means that my Yawgmoth is no longer going to be able to kill their creatures because they're going to be too fat. This hand is okay. It's not great by any stretch. So we have turn 1 Young Wolf. We can't even turn 3 Messenger. This hand is really dependent off the top of our library. It has a lot of the pieces, though. I'm going to risk it. Do you smile when playing against humans? Oh, yeah. Got a big smile when I'm playing against humans. I got protection from your deck. Oh, the Urborg means we can play the turn 3 Geralf's Messenger. We can go turn 2 Chord of Calling to ramp, but that means we won't have the Chord of Calling to fetch Yawgmoth later. So we'll have to see if we are able to wait. Maybe we'll draw a good card. How did we get out of that board state against Hammer? We drew Force of Vigor. Opponent gave us too much time. Ooh, now this opponent is not making the same mistake. Turn 2, a pair of Sojourner's Companions. They're going to be coming at us right quick. We do get a play, though. We have Wall of Roots here. Wall of Roots can block a companion. Young Wolf can block a companion. Well, I mean, it's all because the opponent gave us time. The Hammer Time opponent gave us far too much time. Urza's Saga, that's brutal. Block, block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We gotta put a counter on the Wall of Roots if we want to kill the Urza Saga. Maybe we can just set the combo together. Let's just work at putting together the combo and trying to survive. So they put the Wellspring into hand. All right. Good card. That's not a great card. I don't really want to block with Young Wolf. I think we're going to be taking a hit from one of these companions, so maybe I should just attack with it. And that kind of keeps our life total equal. I might be able to just go get Yawgmoth here and win. How expensive is Yawg combo on Modo? Cheap. Less than 400 ticks. Oh, that extra 1 damage, you jerk! I hate that extra 1. So brutal. Blooming Marsh. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can go get Yawgmoth. We can keep a little bit of mana open. Maybe we can set something up. Maybe opponent will just concede. Who knows? Might be good to keep the plant back. So then we have a blocker. Go get Yawg. Target, sack. Draw a couple cards, see if they concede. Target, sack. It doesn't look like that's enough to get them to concede. I think we're just going to pass. We get to our turn, we win. I think. We can block 1 construct with the plant. Oh no, what if they have Spear? Spear's a beating. They almost certainly have Spear. They're going to be able to equip the construct, attack for trample damage. Or they could just go get Pithing Needle. We don't have enough life. Yeah, they have Spear. We don't have enough life. We lose a life every time we do the iteration, and because the opponent has more life than us, we do not have the combo. Just trying to think if there's any way we can get out of this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we could potentially Chord for 1. If we draw Chord of Calling, we can... Damn it, no, because we don't have Essence Warden. We have the other card, the Innkeeper, so we cannot draw towards that. Crap. So this is one instance where having the Innkeeper over the Essence Warden hurt us. Because we could have potentially drawn to Chord of Calling. There's the Innkeeper we spoke of. I suppose if we would have drawn the Essence Warden, it wouldn't have been too good either. Target, sack. We don't actually want to spend too much time on this. I just kind of want to see if we can get the opponent to concede to it. Target, sack. I think they're too smart. We'll pretend like we were looking for something, like we maybe had a play. Oh yeah, we could just get this thing and we'd be fine, and we just didn't find it in the life total we had available to us. That's what happened. We only have, I think, one more activation here to even possibly found it. We would not have gotten there regardless. We just didn't find it anyways, the card we were looking for. Womp womp. Alright, so Force of Vigor. Is Fatal Push even good in this matchup? I'm not sure that it is. We could bring in Void Mirror, though. They do have colored mana, but some of their spells, they wouldn't have the option to really put to play it. I don't know. Thoughtseize, like, they empty their hands so fast. Alright, we'll play the push instead of the mirror. Force of Vigor, Young Wolf, Innkeeper for ramp. This seems fine. We'll keep it. Our opponent is mulliganing pretty heavily here, which should be good for us considering the Force of Vigor. Could you have got Cutthroat last game and won? No, we didn't have the mana available. We only had a total of 4, so we could Chord of Calling for 1. We were just kind of going through the motions to see if we could induce the opponent to scoop early. But they were too smart for us. We could play the Innkeeper, which gets us access to Grist, or we could play the Geist, which allows us to start attacking for 3. Kind of like ramping. So if we draw... I guess we can't even play Yawgmoth next turn. But it would allow us to play Grist next turn. Yeah, you're right. Force of Vigor does let the beatdown plan continue on so that we can just keep hitting them for 3 damage, 3 damage, 3 damage. Oh, that is so attractive. I mean, that doesn't regenerate an Urza Saga. Doesn't really feel good getting rid of the Welding Jar, but I guess we have to if we want to hit anything with it. I'm kind of leaning towards getting rid of the Grist. We can take a draw step with no consequences. We can do it during their upkeep. Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you. Although they do now know we have Force of Vigor. Chord of Calling. Okay, so I think we go Innkeeper, we'll get rid of the Grist, and we'll have Chord of Calling ready to go. How much mana is this? Looks like 3, 6. So if we get land, we can go get Yawgmoth. You can scoop now, opponent. It's okay. Thanks, friends, for the sage advice. Well timed. That first game was kind of crazy, though, right? How fast did they put those 4/4s onto the battlefield? Was it turn 2? Yeah, that first game really shows why people would be interested in picking up this deck. Affinity, I mean, not only was it incredibly quick, it also just had 2 thought casts and was able to just like draw 4 cards for 2 mana. I don't know. It's close. Like, we have most of the combo. We're just missing Yawgmoth. We have so much mana. Opponent is keeping 7. Like, the mana's good. We have some really good auxiliary cards. I think we're going to keep this and hope we get good cards on the top. We have a lot of ways to draw Yawgmoth, and this hand is really good at doing stuff if we find Yawgmoth. Stop. We'll hit 6. Actually, I'm going to cancel that. I'm going to hit 0. Ah, it's Welding Jar. That's a pain. But they don't have any of their big creatures yet. We got a couple turns here to set up. Wall of Roots, okay, getting there. Green, go green, green, play Wall of Roots, play Young Wolf, and Hierarch. Yeah, that's how you do it in Magic. You just throw your hand onto the table as fast as you can. What's your last card, opponent? Is it a good one? Because I still got cards in hand. Doesn't look like it's a good one. I mean, they might as well attack. I'm in for trading this Young Wolf for a Memnite. Or a Welding Jar, what have you. Yeah, I'll block here. We'll prevent the damage. Hopefully Wall of Roots comes out of this okay. Yeah, totally fine. Chord of Calling, yeah! Okay, so let's see what we got access to here. 1, 2, 3, Geralf's Messenger. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're still off of getting Yawg this turn. But I think this is basically game. I guess we could just go get Yawg now. And then play the Geralf's Messenger next turn. That's probably fine. That's probably better. We can play the Urborg, that way the Peatland doesn't do us any damage anymore. Alright, yeah, we're going to pass like this. And we'll go get Yawgmoth. Hey, it's a raid! Mr. Taddy, thanks for the raid, friend. Yeah, that's true. We can do it at any time, and often it's good to do these things as late as possible. Okay, they have one card left in hand. I'm kind of thinking like block Fragmite with Yawgmoth and then kill it. Is there any reason for us to keep mana open? We can keep 1 mana back. I don't think that's going to help us during the opponent's turn. I'll go get Yawg. Okay, go to blocks. Block here. Dispatch. Okay, they're going to be able to exile the Yawgmoth. This creature has trample, so we'll still be taking some damage. But let's definitely draw some cards while we have Yawgmoth on the board here. Nice, another Yawgmoth on top. That's what I like to see. Okay. We'll let the dispatch resolve. We're not going to be able to take all the artifacts off the battlefield. Yawgmoth was going to be exiled there, but they're out of resources. We have a full hand. And we're putting Yawgmoth down again right away. We could probably put, like, I think we can play Wall of Roots here. We can go Nurturing Peatland, Wall of Roots, Yawgmoth, I think. Sure. Yeah, and that's a big reason why this deck is as strong as it is, because once you get this combo to go off, even if you don't win the game immediately, you're refilling your hand. So, Mr. Taddy, I don't know if you're still here. Sorry, I got a little bit distracted there. I hope your stream went well. Tell me, what were you playing? How did you do? All right, well, thanks for that, Torpor Orb. Usually I try and ask that right away, you know, engage the streamers they came in, but I am distractible. Thanks for stepping up. So Jeskai Wurza. Wurza's definitely an interesting deck. I like that it's come back. You get a lot of cycles in Modern, but what's name? Sort of the Meek Thopter Foundry combo is a really cool one, and its interaction with Urza is excellent. Oh, this hand is difficult to keep, but it might be good. We go Blooming Marsh Hierarch, second turn. If we draw land, we can play Wall of Roots and Chord of Calling for Dryad Arbor, and we can really start getting somewhere. But if we don't, like, this could just be a trap. Or if the opponent has removal for the Hierarch turn 1, I think this is too risky. They're probably just going to have removal for Hierarch, and we're going to mana screw. Let's mulligan this. This is not better. This is worse. We're mulliganing this as well. This one we'll keep. It's also not great. So let's bring the cards we're keeping over this way. So we're keeping these 3 for sure. Maybe we keep Grist and Chord to try and, like, maybe Grist can try to keep us in the game. Ah, they would have had no removal. First hand was fine. Now they're going to spell snare the Wall of Roots, and I'm going to feel like a fool. Whew. When they tap that blue, I was worried. So Grist could actually be pretty good here if we get it to resolve. Let's hope they tap down. They probably won't. They'll probably hold up Counterspell here. So we'll be able to play land pass turn, and we have Chord of Calling for 2 during their turn. Or if they tap out. And again, we're trying to get this Grist to resolve. I'm in between Wall of Roots and Strangleroot Geist. Maybe even Prosperous Innkeeper. Just because Innkeeper makes the treasure, which will stick around. I think I'm going to go Geist, so we can pressure their life total with it. Damn it. I mean, that's fine. I kind of wanted to Chord of Calling for a Grist here, but I can only do that if I do not attack. So I could attack and play Yawgmoth, or I could Chord of Calling for Grist. End of opponent's turn. Could also Chord of Calling for Zombie. Chord of Calling for Messenger seems pretty good. Setting up the combo. Yeah, let's do that. We'll pass the turn. No attacks. Are you scared? Now, they cracked the fetch without fear. Okay, no white mana yet. I like seeing that. White mana means Prismatic Ending, which is a pain for us to deal with. Messenger. Save targets always yield. They haven't done very much, have they? Let's go to combat. Here we go. Getting some action now. Snapcaster Mage, sure. They do get to hold up Counterspell with this. And we don't have the mana to play Messenger, which I wouldn't mind throwing into Counterspell. Oh, they're using the Opt immediately? I think we just won. I think we just won the game. We don't know. They could still have like Fetch Path here. I mean, even Lightning Bolt could interrupt our combo, I think, if they have really good timing. Oops. Do that one. Black, black, Yawgmoth. So the question now, what deck is the opponent playing? Not sure. So they have single blue open. Seems pretty like cut and dry for us to just go for it here. I guess they could have like Vapor Snag. I'm gonna go for it. Put a counter on Messenger, sacrifice Geist. I think we win. I've been saying that a lot though the last little while. Target, sack. Yeah. Could I interest you in conceding the match, opponent? Would you like to quit in a rage? So let's bring in Grist. Oh, I like these over here. Veil of Summer. And I think that's it. Probably Murktide. I would agree with that. I think it's almost certainly Murktide. They probably just had a weird hand. Our hand was weird too. So we're going to want to get rid of some of these evolutions. And I mean, that's already 3 for 3. We could run like this, although I kind of would like to get rid of some of these hierarchs. No removal, no counterspells, no threats. Keep. Absolutely. All lands and cantrips. That's all you need. I think, like, we'd probably bring in Fatal Push, right? It doesn't hit the Murktide, but it does hit the Dragon Rage Channeler and the Ragavan. Again, like, I don't know exactly what their list is. I'm assuming that with Murktide they would play Dragon Rage Channeler, Ragavan, and Snapcaster Mage, but who knows? And I kind of want to take some of these Hierarchs out because I want just better cards on top of my deck. Even though this is going to make us a little bit slower, it's also going to make us a little less vulnerable to removal. Not sure that it's the right idea in this matchup in particular, but I have a feeling that it's on the right track. Could also potentially take out one of our Prosperous Innkeepers, but I don't really feel like there's much else we want to put in. You want to put in Seize, huh? Actually, I really like that. I actually really like Seize. I think that's a great idea. Get rid of Counter Magic, get rid of Murktide. I want to keep the one evolution. We can probably get rid of the Rec Sage. Oh, hey there, Mystical Pot. If you're interested in watching the rest of it, I mean, the VOD will be up in a little bit. And there's always YouTube on Monday. Don't want push? You don't think so? Maybe I'm just not familiar enough with their deck. Quillnick, thanks for the follow, friend. We'll keep this. It's okay. I figured the push would be fine for, like, Darcy. Hey, why not both? If one is good, two must be better. That is my what I brought the push in for, Torpor Orb. I figured if we could get rid of those early threats, then maybe we might have enough time to deploy our combo. Oh no, not a second one. One was fine. Who knows? Like I said before, if one is good, two must be better. We can just pass priority from this point. Yes, that would be true, Potato. If ever you were thinking about something to do, like, hey, how can I help out that Cooper guy? He seems like a nice chap. Is there anything that I could do that would help out this Cooper without costing me money? Well, yes, there is. I have playlists on my YouTube. If at any time you would like to start up a playlist and run that in the background, you don't even have to watch it. You can turn the volume down and just have that going on in the background while you sleep. That would actually be a huge boon to me because it gives me 100% views and multiple views in a row, which is very strong for my metrics. I don't think you can have the playlist muted. I mean, you just mute YouTube, right? The window that's playing the playlist, you just mute it. I guess you could mute the computer if you're going to bed. So opponent's stuck on lands here, giving us the opportunity to crash in for some damage. We have good creatures against monkeys, and we got good spells against Darcy. If they fail to play lands, then we're just going to run away with this. But let's not get overconfident. Let's try to... We got it! They conceded. Trophy! First of the season! Ooh. That is some wonderful news. Good news, everyone! Trophy! Fan-fucking-tastic! While I cannot say that we won this this league because of Innkeeper, maybe we can say that Innkeeper was our good luck charm. Alright, so we decided to play the Yawgmoth Combo with Prosperous Innkeeper. People have been talking the card up because of its interaction with Eldritch Evolution. You're able to turn 2 play the Prosperous Innkeeper, and that's going to allow you to turn 3 either just play Yawgmoth because you have a treasure and a 3rd land, or you can Eldritch Evolution the Innkeeper into Yawgmoth, which is something that you cannot do with Essence Warden. However, the Innkeeper costs 2 mana, which is worse for Chord of Calling. It means that we can no longer Chord of Calling when we have access to 4 mana. We need 5 in order to get the Innkeeper out, and that did sort of come up. The way that we actually went through it, we didn't actually draw Chord of Calling, so we wouldn't have actually been able to do it, but it is something that did, cross our minds. I'm not entirely sure about the extra Grist. I like having 2, but I'm not sure 3 is the right number. I think we can probably back off the Grist and the Innkeeper and maybe make room again for Scurry Oak. I did really like the Scurry Oak combo. I'm speaking of enjoying the things that are going on here, more and more I am enjoying this sideboard. It just feels very nicely placed for the meta currently. Baloth can be very good against like any black decks. We're not seeing as much Kroxa as we were previously, but I still prefer Baloth if we are not playing Ivy Lane Denizen. But if I do switch back to the Ivy Oak combo, Baloth would go back to Kitchen Finks. But, otherwise, I am really liking everything that's going on with this deck. I think that the Prosperous Innkeeper versus Essence Warden is going to be a decision that comes down to a player-by-player thing. So, it's really going to come down to your own personal feelings at this point until we get more data.